Stress doesn't come from the world around you. It comes from the way you hold on to it. Have you ever felt like your mind is a battlefield where stress, overthinking, and frustration fight for control? You wake up already exhausted, drowning in responsibilities, haunted by past mistakes and anxious about the future. No matter what you do, peace feels just out of reach. But what if I told you, calmness isn't something you chase, it's something you create? For thousands of years, Buddhist philosophy has held the key to inner peace, offering profound yet practical wisdom to free yourself from the endless cycle of worry and suffering. These aren't just ideas, they are battle-tested principles that monks and seekers have used to transform their lives. And today, you're going to learn them. In this video, we'll explore 7 Buddhist rules that can help you let go of what drains you, silence the noise in your mind, and finally, embrace a life of clarity, strength, and lasting peace. By the end, you won't just understand peace, you'll feel it. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let stress and negativity control you? Stay with me and let's uncover the path to freedom together. Rule number 1. Let go of what you can't control. There was once a man who stood by a river, frustrated by its wild, unpredictable currents. He shouted at the water, demanding it to flow in a straight line, to be calm, to bend to his will. But no matter how much he pleaded, the river continued its course, indifferent to his desires. Exhausted, he finally sat by the shore, watching as the water moved effortlessly around rocks and obstacles. In that moment, he realized the river was never the problem. It was his resistance to it that caused his suffering. Life is no different. We often waste energy trying to control situations, people, and outcomes that are beyond our grasp. We replay conversations in our minds, wishing we had said something different. We fear the unknown, desperately clinging to plans that fall apart. But Buddhism teaches that true peace comes from surrendering to the natural flow of life. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Control is an illusion. You can't stop the rain from falling. You can't change how others behave. You can't undo the past. But you can control how you respond. The moment you let go of what you cannot change, you take back your power. You free yourself from the weight of frustration, regret, and anxiety. You become like the river, flowing, adaptable, unstoppable. How often do you let small, uncontrollable things dictate your peace? The traffic jam that makes you late, the rude comment from a stranger, the unexpected change in plans. When you resist these moments, you suffer. But when you accept them with grace, they lose their power over you. Imagine you are holding onto a rope tightly. The harder you cling to it, the more it burns your hands. But when you release your grip, the pain disappears. This is how attachment to control works. The tighter you hold onto the illusion of control, the more suffering you create for yourself. Letting go is not giving up. It is making space for peace. Here's a simple practice. The next time you feel frustration rising over something you cannot change, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? If the answer is no, let it go. Redirect your energy towards something within your control, your mindset, your actions, your present moment. Many of life's greatest burdens are self-imposed. We carry unnecessary stress because we believe we must dictate every outcome. But what if you trusted the process instead? What if, instead of fighting the waves, you learned to ride them? You would move with life instead of against it. Buddhism teaches that attachment is the root of suffering. The more we attach to how things should be, the more we struggle. Instead, shift your focus to acceptance. This does not mean inaction. It means acting wisely, without resistance to what is beyond your power. A tree does not fight the wind, it bends with it. True peace is found in release, not in control, not in certainty, but in embracing the unknown with a calm mind. So what is one thing you can release today? Detach from desires and expectations. A man once journeyed into the mountains in search of happiness. He believed that once he achieved wealth, recognition, and the perfect life, he would finally be at peace. He clenched his desires like a fist, determined to mold life to his will. But each time he grasped at something, a promotion, a relationship, a goal, it never brought the lasting joy he expected. Instead, it slipped through his fingers like sand, leaving behind frustration and longing. One day, an old monk watched him sigh in despair. The monk handed him a handful of sand and said, "Hold it tightly." The man squeezed, only to feel the grains slipping away. Then the monk said, "Now open your hand." The man did, and the sand rested peacefully in his palm. "This is life," the monk said. "The tighter you cling, the more it escapes you. But when you loosen your grip, peace remains." How often do we trap ourselves in the cycle of wanting? We expect people to act a certain way, careers to unfold as planned, love to meet our conditions. But when reality doesn't match our desires, suffering arises. Buddhism teaches that detachment is not about avoiding joy or giving up ambition. It is about releasing the grip on expectations. "You only lose what you cling to," said the Buddha. Think about the last time you felt disappointment. Was it because things didn't go as you planned? Maybe someone didn't meet your expectations. Maybe life took a turn you didn't foresee. The tighter we hold on to desires, the more we struggle when they don't unfold our way. But when we practice detachment, we experience life as it is, rather than how we think it should be. Does this mean we should abandon dreams? It means we pursue them without attachment to the outcome. A musician should play for the love of music, not just for fame. A student should learn for the sake of growth, not just for a perfect grade. When we act with presence instead of expectation, we find freedom. Ask yourself, are there desires or expectations causing you stress? What if you loosened your grip, trusting that life will unfold as it should? Imagine how much lighter your heart would feel. Here's a practice. The next time you find yourself clinging to a specific outcome, pause. Take a deep breath and ask, am I holding this too tightly? If so, try shifting your focus from expectation to acceptance. When we stop chasing, life flows toward us naturally. Let go, and you will find peace. 3. Practice compassion and kindness. A young boy once found a wounded bird struggling on the ground. Its wing was broken, and it trembled in fear. He could have ignored it, walked past like so many others, but instead he gently picked it up, wrapped it in his scarf, and cared for it. Every day he fed it, spoke to it softly, and gave it time to heal. Weeks later, the bird was strong enough to fly again. As it soared into the sky, the boy smiled, not because he gained anything, but because he had given something, kindness. Buddhism teaches that compassion is not just an act, it is a way of being. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. In a world where everyone is rushing, where kindness is often seen as weakness, we forget that the simplest gestures can change a life. A kind word, a moment of patience, a willingness to understand, these are the seeds of peace. But kindness is not just for others. True compassion begins with how we treat ourselves. How often do we forgive others, but hold on to our own mistakes? We speak kindly to friends, yet criticize ourselves relentlessly. Imagine a garden where you nurture every plant except one. That neglected plant will wither. The same happens when we deny ourselves kindness. Think about the last time you performed an act of kindness without expecting anything in return. Was it offering a smile to a stranger, listening without judgment, holding space for someone's pain? These moments, though small, create ripples. One kind act can inspire another, forming an endless wave of positivity. Now ask yourself, how can you show compassion to yourself today? Can you forgive yourself for a past mistake? Can you take a break without guilt? Can you speak to yourself with the same kindness you offer a friend? Self-compassion is not selfish. It is essential. When we treat ourselves with love, we naturally extend that love to others. Here's a practice. The next time you feel frustrated, whether at yourself or someone else, pause. Take a deep breath and ask, can I respond with kindness? If the answer is yes, do it. Let compassion be your strength, not your burden. The world does not need more perfection. It needs more kindness. And it starts with you. 4. Embrace the present moment. A wise old man sat by a quiet lake, watching the ripples dance across the water. A restless traveler approached him, burdened by worry. "I can't find peace," the traveler said. "My mind is trapped between regrets of the past and fears of the future. What should I do?" The old man smiled, picked up a small stone and tossed it into the lake. "Watch," he said. The traveler observed as the ripples expanded outward before finally fading. "Do you see?" the old man asked. "The past is like that stone. It has already sunk. The future is like those ripples, always forming but never fully here. But where is your life happening? Right where your feet touch the ground. Right here, right now." Buddhism teaches that the present moment is all we truly have. Yet we spend so much of our lives either clinging to the past or anxiously planning for a future that hasn't arrived. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. The more we drift between what was and what could be, the more we miss what is. Imagine a beautiful sunset. If you are too busy scrolling on your phone or worrying about tomorrow, you don't see its beauty. It fades before you can truly experience it. Life is no different. When we fail to embrace the now, we fail to live. Do you often find your mind wandering to past regrets or future anxieties? How much of your energy is spent revisiting old mistakes or preparing for problems that may never come? What if, instead, you fully immersed yourself in this moment, this breath, this experience? Practicing mindfulness doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities. It means being fully engaged with what is in front of you. If you're eating, taste your food. If you're talking to someone, listen with presence. If you're walking, feel each step. The present moment is always here, waiting for you to notice it. Here's a simple practice. Take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs. Notice your surroundings, the sounds, the sensations. Right now, in this very moment, nothing is missing. You are here, and that is enough. So what can you do today to ground yourself in the present? 5. Cultivate gratitude for simplicity. A young monk once asked his master, "Why do people always chase more? More wealth, more success, more things? Why are they never satisfied?" The master smiled and handed him a cup. "Pour some tea," he instructed. The monk poured, but as the cup filled, the master did not tell him to stop. Soon the tea overflowed, spilling onto the table. "Master, it's full!" the monk exclaimed. The master nodded. "And yet you keep pouring, just like people who keep chasing without appreciating what they already have." Buddhism teaches that contentment is not found in acquiring more, but in appreciating what already exists. The modern world pushes us to believe that happiness is always one step away, the next promotion, the next purchase, the next achievement. But the truth is, If we cannot find joy in what we have now, we will never find it in what comes next. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. Buddha. Gratitude is the antidote to endless striving. Instead of focusing on what is missing, it shifts our attention to what is present. Think about the warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite meal, the laughter of a loved one. These are life's true treasures, yet we often overlook them in pursuit of something bigger. Do you often overlook simple pleasures in pursuit of bigger goals? How often do you pause to appreciate a quiet morning, a deep breath, or the kindness of a stranger? Happiness does not exist in grand moments. It is hidden in the ordinary, waiting to be noticed. Imagine your mind as a mirror. When clouded with desires, it distorts reality, making you feel like something is always missing. But when clear, it reflects the beauty of life just as it is. To cultivate gratitude, start small. Each day acknowledge 3 simple things you're grateful for: a warm cup of tea, a meaningful conversation, a moment of stillness. The more you practice, the more you will realize that contentment isn't found in more. It is found in less. So, what simple aspect of your life can you appreciate more deeply today? Pause, notice, and be grateful. That is the path to peace. 6. Silence. Negative thoughts. A weary traveler once reached a monastery, troubled by his own thoughts. "My mind is restless," he confessed to the master. "It's filled with doubt, fear, and anger. I can't escape them." The master handed him a bowl of water and stirred it vigorously. "Look inside," he said. The traveler peered in, but saw only chaos, distorted images, waves crashing against the edges. Then the master set the bowl down. Slowly the water settled, revealing a clear reflection. "This is your mind," the master explained. "When you constantly stir it with negativity, clarity is impossible. But when you allow stillness, peace emerges." Buddhism teaches that our thoughts shape our reality. A negative mind will see obstacles where a peaceful mind sees opportunities. Yet, so many of us let our negative thoughts take control, replaying past mistakes, fearing the worst, doubting our own worth. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Buddha. If we do not learn to quiet these thoughts, they will dictate our lives, clouding our perception and creating suffering where there is none. How often do you dwell on negative thoughts? How many times have you let a single bad moment ruin your entire day? The mind clings to negativity like a stubborn stain, replaying the same worries over and over. But what if, instead of feeding these thoughts, you simply observe them? Imagine each negative thought as a passing cloud. It comes, but it does not have to stay. You are the sky, vast and unshaken. Silencing negative thoughts does not mean suppressing them. It means recognizing them for what they are: temporary, fleeting, and powerless unless we strengthen them. The next time a negative thought arises, pause, take a deep breath and ask, "Is this thought serving me?" If not, let it go. Replace it with something better. Instead of, "I am not good enough," say, "I am learning and growing." Instead of, "Everything is going wrong," say, "This moment will pass." A wise monk once said, "Do not let a single drop of poison ruin an entire well." Yet we do this with our minds. We let a single negative comment, a small mistake, or a past failure poison our entire perception of ourselves. But negativity, like ripples in a pond, only spreads if we continue to stir the water. If left undisturbed, the ripples will fade and the water will return to stillness. Your inner peace is always there, waiting beneath the surface of restless thoughts. The challenge is not to eliminate negativity completely, but to master the art of letting it pass without attachment. Start by practicing mindfulness. Each time a negative thought arises, Acknowledge it, but do not let it consume you. Try journaling, meditation, or simply pausing to observe your breath. When you feel overwhelmed, return to the present moment. Listen to the sounds around you. Feel your breath as it moves in and out. Over time, you will realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the one who chooses which thoughts to hold on to and which to release. You have the power to create a peaceful mind, but it starts with a choice. Can you identify a negative thought pattern to transform today? Let it go. Do not let it define you. Do not let it control you. Your mind is like a pond, disturbed or calm. The choice is yours. Choose peace. Choose clarity. Let negativity drift away. Bonus rule: accept life's impermanence. A young monk once asked his master, "Why does suffering exist?" The master took him to a garden and pointed at a blooming flower. "Look at this flower, so lovely, so full of life, yet soon its petals will fall and it will fade away." The monk looked concerned. "But why? Why can't it remain like this forever?" The master gave a gentle smile. "Because that's how everything is. Nothing stays the same forever. Holding on to what won't last leads to suffering. Finding peace comes from accepting change." Buddhism teaches that impermanence is a basic truth of life. Everything, our thoughts, feelings, belongings, and even our lives, is always changing. Still, we fight this reality. We're afraid of losing. We cling to the past and try hard to control what's ahead. But this struggle only brings pain. As Buddha said, nothing stays forever except change itself. How often do you find it hard to accept change? Maybe it's losing someone close, the end of a relationship, or the worry of growing older. Maybe you hold on to past memories, hoping things could go back to the way they were. But the more we fight change, the more we hurt. Think of trying to hold water. It slips through your hands no matter how tight your grip. Life works the same way. Impermanence isn't something to fear, it's something to welcome. When we accept that all things pass, we begin to truly value the present. Instead of fearing the end, we enjoy what we have while it lasts. Think about the seasons. Each one arrives and leaves, yet we don't mourn the end of summer or push back against winter. We enjoy the beauty of each season as it comes, knowing that change is part of life. Imagine how different your life could be if you truly accepted that everything changes. The little frustrations that used to fill your mind would lose their grip on you. The things you're afraid to lose would be met with thankfulness instead of worry. You'd live with a deep calm, knowing each moment is valuable because it doesn't last. Next time you notice yourself fighting change, pause and take a deep breath. Remind yourself, this moment too will pass. The pain you feel now will eventually soften. The happiness you feel will turn into new experiences. The things you hold on to so tightly will eventually drift away. Not because life is unkind, but because life keeps moving. Begin to practice letting go. Be grateful for what you have without needing it to stay forever. Love freely without holding too tight. Enjoy what happens without being afraid of it ending. When you stop fighting change, you start moving with life instead of against it. And in that movement, you'll discover peace. Can you think of something in your life that you've been scared to release? What might happen if instead of holding on, you accepted its changing nature? Life is like the turning seasons, always shifting, always flowing. Rather than gripping tightly, learn to move with the wind. Here's a quick summary of the 7 rules. Let go of what you cannot control. Most of our suffering comes from trying to control what we can't. Free yourself by going with life's natural rhythm, like a river that bends with every curve. Be present in the moment. The past is over. The future is unknown. The only moment that truly exists is right now. The more you stay in the present, the more calm and clarity you'll experience. Practice kindness and compassion. A heart full of kindness has no room for suffering. Being gentle with yourself and others clears away negativity and brings deep, lasting peace. Let go of strong desires and fixed expectations. The more tightly you hold on, the more pain you feel. Real freedom comes from releasing rigid hopes and welcoming life as it is. Be thankful for the simple things. Joy isn't found in getting more, but in valuing what you already have. A calm life starts with a thankful heart. Quiet the negative voice in your mind. Your thoughts can either pull you down or lift you up. Train your mind by replacing fear, doubt, and negativity with thoughts of peace and meaning. Accept that life is always changing. Nothing stays the same. Holding on only brings suffering. When you welcome change, you gain the strength to live fully and without fear. Most pain doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from within. We hold on to what's already past, we fear what hasn't happened yet, and we chase desires that never truly satisfy. But peace isn't something you find out there. Peace is a choice you make moment by moment. What if today you let go of just one burden, one worry, one expectation? Picture the weight lifting, making room for something better. Stillness, understanding, joy. This is the way of Buddhism, not running away but waking up. You only lose what you hold on to too tightly. Life passes quickly, like a candle flickering in the breeze. Rather than fighting change, welcome it. Rather than waiting for peace, become peace. Your journey starts now. If this video gave you a sense of clarity, please like and share it with someone who could use a little peace today. Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Buddhism Insights for more calming Buddhist insights on living with peace and clarity.